Hello, I think I'm back. Weirdly enough, I'm back. Huh. I'm not entirely sure on what happened, but some crazy internet shenanigans happened, and that caused the stream to go down. Spoopy. But we're back. Tiger had said, I wonder where you will go for lunch there with your co-workers. Guys talking about how the stream died. Did we lose the good boy? Says Tiger. Kinda. A moment there. Aang says just cause it was getting cool. Well, it's back. We are back. Everybody's back. And Oni, you asked Doug who killed you. Was it Pork Pot? No. The good boy bot. I didn't have anything to do with my downfall. I don't know what happened actually. Suddenly the internet stopped working and I wisely went into my internet connections, changed to DNS and it started working again. Like if I know what happened. But here we are. We're back. Maybe DNS stands for dogs not safe or something like that. But anyway, we're back and let's keep illustrating Wallace, the biggest, goodest boy. Holy heck, look at this. Amazing, gigantic, good boy. Fun story. As I was finishing working on the Golden Week comic, I was like in the last chapter, I had thought like, okay, the Golden Week comic is ending. I need another story to fill up the hole that will be left in everybody's life when the Golden Week is over. And the one thing I thought was this little story about these two guys, a tiger and a dog with an underbite. The tiger helped the dog with the underbite move from his family house into the city, and then once they were there, the tiger, it was too late for the tiger to go back home, like too late in the night, and they were hungry from the moving and the setting things up and whatnot, so they decided to stay home. Like, stay over there. And the rest of the story was that since they were there, there was nothing going on, they decided, well, why don't we play a little game? And the tiger went like, what game are we gonna play? And the underbite dog went into explaining the idea of the game. The idea of the game was something like, what's that called? Truth or Dare. It's pretty much like Truth or Dare, but with more convoluted rules. So of course, the tiger boy, the idea was that you had to write your dare ahead of time, put in a piece of paper, put it into a little bowl, and each one would have to roll a dice. Whoever had the highest number was safe. So the other one had to take a piece of paper from the other guy's bowl. So I had to write 5 truths, 5 dares, and the idea is that if you lost on the dice roll, it was your turn to get the thing. So the idea is that the tiger, the dares were very silly. Dares like, go to the window and scream something, or sing out loud this Madonna song or whatever. However, Underbite Doggo, he had a different mind. He wrote in dares such as, oh, you have to sit on my lap, you have to give me a kiss on the lips, or something like that. And he went to play the game for a little while, and when the tiger got to draw one of the Underbite Doggo's dares for those things, was like, well, why? Why would you write such a thing? Why would you dare me to make such a thing? And then he would be like, well, I dared you, and you lost the roll, so you have to do it. No backsies, you can't take it back, you have to do it. And then they went and did it, and then those dares kept escalating and escalating and escalating until they both ended up in a makeshift bed, because of the movie they didn't have a bed there, but they ended up together doing all sorts of sexual acts that true men would do to one another. So that was the story I had in mind. It was going to be very silly, and it was originally intended to work as a visual novel, because I wanted to have these kind of choices and challenges for the player. But as I was thinking that out, and I said, maybe that's not the best idea I ever had. Maybe I should think it over a little bit. And that's when another idea I already had in mind, the whole idea for the Bradley story in Call Me Daddy, that idea was kept cooking up in my head. That was supposed to be like a one-off. But then this tiger from this story with the Underbite Doggo, he started to get to come to life. I started to work a little bit more on him, throw into more details onto his physique and his personality, and eventually he was a fleshed out character. And I decided, hey, maybe his story is a story that is worth exploring as well. The story of him hearing the Bradley's story, so Bradley's story doesn't get to be told as it actually happened, but it gets to be told as from a third person perspective. And that, I thought that was very good because we could make this whole story like a sequence, because You Call Me Daddy was going to be a one-off, but due to the nature of Nathan being the storyteller, I could expand that, like, the first story is done, so now we can move on to the second. That's why Gavin's story is kind of so kind of uninspired. It's because I thought it up in a month, and then I was already illustrating it. I didn't think it over for months like I did with the Call Me Daddy story. And other than that, this whole fact that this story is being told by another person rather than by the person who originally experienced the story, it meant that I didn't have to be extremely accurate. And by that I mean I couldn't make any creative liberties, like, oh, this is a story that happened, like it happened for real, for example, but we're not gonna tell all the details. Like, I actually this thing actually happened, that other thing actually happened, those other 2-3 things happened, and we talked about that. We went to that place, we bought Coke in the supermarket because we were thirsty and needed something to drink. You can omit those details because we're not trying to bother being realistic. And of course, narrative wise, I could have already done that. When you think that that story is being told through another person, it makes sense. To me at least. Maybe it doesn't make sense to anybody else. I'm a nut duck. Thinks those things are cool, but they're not actually cool, and everybody looks at me like I'm a crazy doggo. But anyway. So I had thought out about that, and then that's when it dawned on me that all those stories, the Call Me Daddy story and eventually the Call Me Father stories, they would lead up to that story of the tiger and the Underbite Doggo that I had initially thought up a while ago. Because those characters, I liked them. I liked the Underbite Doggo because it was very original as far as character went, for me. And the tiger, I liked him because of the color of his eyes, because aside from that he has very little else going on for him. So I had these two characters and I really wanted to use them, but the comic I had in mind and was truly ready to go and do was the Call Me Daddy. So I threw in the tiger at the very beginning of Call Me Daddy, explained that actually his story, and giving some explanation as to why of everything else. And little do you know, eventually that worked out in the end. For me at least, I think he did. Of the story being actually Nathan's stories. But before we went on with his story, we had to go through why. Several whys of why he is who he is, how he is. And have some sort of hedge. We had to go through these certain occasions here and there before we were able to get to the end of the story, which is this part right now where the tiger and the Underbite Doggo go and move from the Underbite Doggo's house, family house, into his own house, and they do get to play a game which involves one of them getting naked and stuff. So, in short, what I mean to say is that I had thought up the Call Me Daddy story, and it was gonna be a one-off, and on the other side I also had this story going on, which was Nathan and Wallace's story, and then I decided, hey, maybe I can merge these two stories together and make another bigger story. Goes on for a little while longer and has more things to it. And of course, that's a horrible way of working. Like simply on a whim, you go pick up two different stories and merge them up together into a single story. I mean, it's not bad. It's actually good because you give up length to a story. And the story should actually be thought out from a simpler, smaller point, and then you go expanding, instead of deciding upon a gigantic thing and then go back little by little explaining each individual part. It's not a thing you should do on a whim. It's something you should think out about deep and hard. And I don't like how it is turning out so far. The way this story is progressing. I'll be able to tell the Tiger and the Underby Douglas story. And after that is done, in something like 50 more pages, give or take, I feel. Give or take a dozen. After that is done, then I'll be ready to move on to another project. I don't know what project, if or when, I don't know anything else yet. But at least I have an ending, well, not an ending, but I have an objective in mind with this comic here. It's not gonna be an endless thing. It's gonna be something like the Golden Week. It will have an ending, and it will come eventually. Because I feel like stories, they need an ending. Those endless stories that just keep on giving, eventually you dry up. You run out of ideas, or you get extremely annoyed by writing the same characters still. Like after 10 years, you're still working with the same characters. It just doesn't feel good. So being able to change is good. And that's the point here. Finishing up this story, so I can get on to another story. And Tiger, you said that's interesting. Well, I'm glad you think so, Tiger. And Echo, you're back. Welcome back. How was your siesta? Also, hello Leo. Welcome to the stream. To the end of the stream. How are you doing today? Leo, say scream for you. Why? Why should I go and do that? I can't scream. I live in an apartment building. It doesn't work like that. But instead of screaming, I can at least say obscenities, if that is the same with you. Also, yes, I am aware that the eye is way too low. I'm just gonna draw both of them up, so I can still use the reference in the background for the size and the position, so I can move it all up as one. But yeah, I really wonder why those disconnections through the stream keep happening, because that's sad. It should not be happening. And Neku, how was your siesta? Yes, your siesta, because everybody knows big cats, they like to sleep for long periods of time, randomly, if anything. So how was your sleep? How was your nap? How was your siesta? And Sam, you're leaving now? Say to all of you your long farewells. Oh, sure thing, Sam. I'll be seeing you soon. Stay awesome and have a beautiful day. And Leo, your cubs just made you watch them craft things for Christmas. Someone said it. And you missed sleeping in. Oh, look on the bright side. At least they are growing up creative. Like it or not, being creative is very good, very important for kids. I'd like to think that, so at least. And Neku, it was nice, had some nightmares, but nice. Oh, that was a very short sleep. I'm surprised we're able to have nightmares in such a short time, but welcome back, Neku. Welcome back to the end of the stream. And yes, we have a out of proportion, angry old, well, not old lady, but middle-aged lady yelling, and a big underbite doggo beside her, just standing there, be like, oh, okay. Anyway, how are you doing, Leo? How have you been holding up? Also, as always, it's amazing to hear from you. So, translating those more or less feral attributes, features, such as like canine muzzle and other things, translating that from a male intro character to a female intro character is extremely iffy. The chances of you messing up something here and making this character look more male than female is very easy to do. And that's a reason why sometimes there is a possibility that it doesn't work by itself. Like drawing a female character, it doesn't work. It needs something else to go along to really drive home the point that this is a female character. And that something else might very well be your visual style. So you can see that whenever I draw my male characters, I really make them very scruffy. Their necks, their muzzles, it's very scruffy. Where's Nathan? Here, look. There's some scruff going on here and there, and he's also I use very straight shapes and angles. This whole part of his face could very well be round, but instead I make it like very angled. That's so when you have a female character in the scene, they have virtually no scruff in sight, no scruff going on, and very round faces as well. So if you have been following up the visual style of my illustration, my comics until now, and you see this, you can tell more easily, oh, that's a female character. You might not register why you have that realization right then and there, but deep down in your mind you will know that's a female character, and there's a reason for why your mind instantly recognizes it, and that's more or less it. A little small doggo is mad. Does he? He needs more meat. Oh no, it's not a small male doggo, it's a small female doggo. And also, these songs are over. Let's request more songs, because why not? Let's request the same songs because I like the songs here and I haven't heard them in forever. Oh, good boy bot, would you please request my songs? Oh, the good boy bot's so annoying sometimes. So annoying. I have no idea. No idea. Well then, good boy bot. Instead of going and doing this through, how do we do this again? Oh no, I add this to the playlist. I don't want to add it to the playlist. I want to add it to the back. I want to add it to the actual list of musics that are playing or should be playing, not a playlist. Oh, good boy bot. No wonder nobody likes it. Anyway, how are you guys holding up in this last 15 minutes of the stream? I think you're doing good. So here we have this little problem, that is, those characters are too big for this frame. The way I choose to do this framing here is to have both characters show up. There's gonna be some dialogue here in the middle as well. And I really wanted to show how tall and short these characters are in comparison, so I needed to go back and scale it down. Like I said, the layout that I did on paper is because I do it on pen, I only have one opportunity to make it look as good as possible. And sometimes that opportunity is not enough. I made this drawing, but the drawing was amazing. I got what I needed to get, but I messed up on the scale. So those things I have to fix up here in the computer. That isn't too hard. And Nick, you're relaxed because you fixed your Final Fantasy XIV account. What happened to it? I do remember you posting and talking about it being kinda wonked and bamboozled for a while there, but I didn't actually get to see what happened. What happened to it? Wow, I just dived, did a very deep dive in my head, thought of, and was thinking about things here for a while. I completely forgot I was running a show here. That's called the zone. Well, as I like to call, I don't actually know what it's called, but it's a state of mind people have called the flow, which is when you're so focused on this one thing you're doing, in this case illustrating, that suddenly you forget all about the outside world. You forget about all the things and you're simply going and focus so very hard on doing that one thing you're doing that everything else ceases to exist. It's crazy. And there might be some explanation, some better explanation to that, some better name. I don't know what better name would be. But anyway, there's that, and that happened. When it happens, it's amazing because the outside world stops existing for you. And you are able to focus so much better on what you're doing. You don't get distracted, you don't get lost in thought, or at least you do get lost in thought. But you lose yourself in thought, but at the same time you keep working on stuff. So it's kind of like you shut off for a little minute, let these other side of your brain take the wheel, and it goes to work, and in the meantime you're kind of taking a nap or something. Pretty amazing. But anyway, I think I've done it for these two characters. Also, for this old, well, not old, but middle-aged female doggo here, it's not very flattering for her, but I added a little flabby neck for her. And when I say it doesn't look, it isn't flattering. It's actually the opposite. It It's extremely not flattering at all. But hopefully it gives it a more realistic look, like it's actually an old, middle-aged woman who has... no. Who is old. And I can scale it down even further to better accentuate the size difference between these two characters here. Simply by lowering her a little bit further, pushing her more to the side. Look at that. There we go. I have two characters there. They're talking together, but they are very different in size, and you can tell, you can feel that the difference here. I really will have to look for some reference. Lackadaisy, it's a webcomic. It's a webcomic done by Tracy Butler, I think. Tracy J. Butler, I think. And they draw amazing old people. Like, they somehow they are able to do the flabby neck in a way that doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like ugh. It actually looks like, oh, it's a nice visual aesthetic for this character, the flabby neck. I don't know how they do it, and I'll have to look it up, which means more reference I need to look up for this comic. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I did a couple. Well, I did the sketches for one page, finished up the previous page, and for this page here, I did a sketch of one panel. It's a very small thing, but it's a very nice panel. Like you can see, this page has 6 panels, so it's a lot of things I have to do, but I'll do that next time. Because, like it or not, doing comics takes forever, especially if you do it by your own. But before we go, Neko, you said you use Steam because of cheaper prices, but Steam failed to do automatic transaction. There's stories of people that went chargeback. Square Enix, their account have been blocked forever. You was scared of getting your account blocked, so you contacted support and all. However, today you woke up with 3 orders simply cancelled, and you had to do it again, and it's fixed now. Oh, amazing! Congratulations, Neko. Liu, you say wood, more size difference. Yeah, it is a size difference, but it's not that kind of size difference. But anyway, these have been today's pages. Pages 9, which was done already. Page 10, which I sketched up Nathan a little bit further. And not only that, but I also, let's rotate it. But I also did a little sketch of a boss here and some other things. So it's looking more completed by the minute. And here we have a background that I still have to fill up with things and stuff. And there's Nathan walking away. And here we have a little family farm. Everybody's together. And there's Wallace, our underbite doggo. Very scruffy underbite doggo. And his mom. Looking angry. For no reason. Actually, for a reason, but it's like plot reason. But not really. But anyway. Neku said, damn, that is broad. Give me. No. I shall do no such thing. I will have no such dads for you. For no other reason than just because. I don't know, I don't want to do that. So you will have to look elsewhere for that. For that dad fix of yours. But anyway, thank you guys so very much for being here today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. It was kind of hectic with the disconnections and the such, but still, I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll be back tomorrow with more comic book art for our comic book art Wednesday. Not that we're doing daily things, that this is going to become a thing, but who knows. Come back tomorrow and there will be stuff going on, and I hope you guys do enjoy these art streams. But don't worry, when I'm more or less done with these comic book arts, I'll be doing those delicious gameplays you guys enjoy watching, I hope. But nonetheless, I hope you all have an awesome day, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Next time is gonna be tomorrow, so until tomorrow. Other than that, have an amazing day. And before we truly actually go check out Spiker. He's playing Dead by Daylight. I know that some of you like that game. It's fun, or so I have heard. But anyway, go check out Spiker and tell him I said hello with our canine raid. So bye bye, stay awesome and do great things. Bye bye.